live on a moon day. I am your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, child of God, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am the Lilith reincarnated, plus all those other goddesses you see out there. Today is a moon day. In order to keep up with me, you wanted to see what I just posted on my community page. Hilarious. What happened? I went to get on live to do our spiritual growth, and guess who's on live? Fucking Wolfman. And I listened to him for like a couple of minutes, and then he tries to do the Sagittarius read, and the whole thing crashes. It was hilarious. It was the funniest moment of my life. I was like, well, you and your stupid love readings, let me do a real reading. Let's do a real reading around here. Anyways, what's up, everyone? I haven't really tapped in all day today. I've had pretty much the best day ever. I really had a great day, and I just wasn't really gonna say anything, and then I was like, well, we'll just kind of see what's going on. I've just been like forever shuffling my cards because we had put them in order to, teach about intro to tarot for people like them. I did post, a card just came out. I've been watching a lot of cards pop out, the same cards over and over, so I won't be surprised if they do. What cards did I see? The Strength card fell out over and over. The Queen of Cups fell out over and over. I saw the Devil, and I saw, what was it? I can't remember. I just saw multiple cards that just kept popping out. But anyways, I had posted earlier that I had changed directions, which was actually cool. It was a whole super enlightenment that had happened. Well, first off, I went and did some running around today, and I took Morgan with me. And she is like totally sure that there's absolutely nothing wrong with my car whatsoever. I need to balance my tires. That's about it, is what she said. And as far as my air conditioning, that could just be a fuse, is what she said. So we're going to check that out tomorrow. But she had said that, and so we were looking at all the logistics about it, and I was like, dude, I don't even know how much a ferry costs to get over there. And I started looking into the cost of the ferry, and it was an X-nay on the Ubud day. It would be cheaper for us to fucking catch planes. So in that immediate moment, I was like, no, we're not doing that. I mean, not now. Not within a couple of weeks, we're not doing that. I'm not putting, you know what I mean? No, and no, and no. Yeah. So in that, it changed all of this perspective in my eyes, though. It was kind of like, if you shoot for the moon, you'll fall on your ass. But if you shoot for the stars, you'll fall on the moon. In the essence, I had made plans to pretty much leave the country. And right before that, they got closed down. So it had opened up the possibility of, I guess, a big old can of worms. It's like, well, okay, if we're not going to go there, we can pretty much go anywhere in the U.S. And this chick hasn't been anywhere in the U.S. So it kind of started out a whole different adventure because I had set my mind straight. It was in that first video that got cut off. I had set my mind straight to, I finally got this understanding of, when God sends me to places, He's not sending me there to put roots. He's sending me there to do work, right? And so I had a full understanding about that when it came to Alaska. It's like, I'm not going to look for a job. I'm not looking for a house. I'm going there to do spiritual work and have an experience, right? And so I totally changed my outlook in general. Not just one location, but just a full understanding. And that's something that I missed throughout this whole journey, as I was always trying to plant roots everywhere I went. And there's videos to prove it. Everywhere I went, I just kept trying to plant roots. And I finally, came to this surrender of, I'm not going to go there with that damn mindset. What was crazy, though, is because when I told her not to go there, she still wanted to do that mindset. She was like, dude, we could go anywhere and start, start fresh. Because neither one of us literally have anything attached. We're not attached to anything. And we were kind of talking about that. And it's like, no, I have fought for 2 years not to put roots down. I'm not, you know what I mean? As long as I can keep that mindset, I'm going to hold on to that mindset. And it just kind of, at the bottom of my, at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. Shit. I'm gonna leave it at that. So it changed everything in the sense of it was realistic, guys. It cost like hundreds of dollars, and it's not like a fucking 4-hour fucking little boat ride. This is insane, and I didn't look into that at all. But at least I'd gotten that much closer, and that's what it is. It's like, dude, this is gonna take forever to do something like this, but I'm that much closer, and that's cool. And it just kind of gave me a sense of breath, because I wasn't trying to, take on this absolutely crazy adventure in just a couple weeks' time. But it gave me a sense of I could still have an adventure in a couple weeks' time that isn't going to stress me out and freaking break my pockets and break my mentality and shit. But I'm not really driven to go anywhere just yet, so that was a big change in today. A change in the mindset. It's funny, the reason I'm laughing is the Queen of Swords. So I did all this shuffling to put 4 cards back into the deck. What 4 cards? The Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. Hey, I just want to point out, dude, the hawks were all over today, and it was really cool. I took Morgan with me to do my offering, and I showed her. I was like, I opened that can of tuna. I was like, dude, the hawks smell it. The second we leave here, watch. By the time we got to the bottom of the hill, we looked up, and there was 3 big ass hawks up there. It was beautiful. And there was one when I got back to my location, too. The crows were trying to attack it. I got a picture of it. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. It was so big, though. Anyways, it's a change of mindset. When we're talking about your mindset, it's all about your swords. And the Queen of Swords, that's what I am, is like very... Well, I mean, the way I delegate my words is where you would say I'm very cutthroat, like the Queen of Swords. But it's my, you know what I mean, to the point. I'm going to read this out, but it's kind of, that's pretty much, what happened today. Just a change in direction. Could I have made it through and made all of these sacrifices and all this? Yeah, dude, could I expect her to come up with all that money to get her car over there? And the trip was going to take that fucking long? Hey, bro, I didn't sign up for an Oregon trail. I signed up to go to Alaska. And that's what I said, too. How about we just go to Oregon? I've never been there. They say it's very much like Colorado.
We're New Jersey with Joe Bartlett.
Oh, God, I'm not going anywhere near sweat. It's humid up there, bro. Very humid. Ew. Anyways, so I thought about that, and I was like, and Washington, they said, is just as cool. So, considerations, of course. Serious considerations. It's like 19 hours to Washington. I don't know how long to Oregon. But they all drove through states like Wyoming, of course, but Idaho has fry sauce. That's pretty cool. Probably something else cool comes out of Idaho other than that. I mean, I like potatoes. Being a little silly here. I don't know. So, yeah, I had a whole plan, and that's just kind of how life is. You have a whole, you have it all planned out, and then God said, no, you're going a different direction. In the essence, if you don't feel fully, if it's not a fear and it's just a real reality that you have some real roadblocks, okay, that's a no. I'm not going to stress myself out and try to, get the blocks out of the road. I can wait until the fucking road is free. So let me get my guidebook and we'll talk about the Queen of Swords that we're currently in. Anyways, I couldn't be the Queen of Swords without my... Oh, I meant to the Queen of Pentacles. I couldn't be the Queen of Swords without my King of Swords. And there's my Queen of Cups. Oof. Going through a lot here. We're going through all my queens here. Cups. No, swords. Swords are in the beginning. Dun, 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 dun. No. Alright. Let's see. The young Queen of Swords, or the Fool encounters the Queen of Swords, dressed in yellow and seated on a throne, surrounded by blooming spring landscape that is illuminated by the rising sun. A hawk circles above her, showing the ability of her intellect to rise above petty issues. Despite her youth, her gaze is steady, demonstrating that she is independent and not easily fooled. The wheel turns. She says, I am the maiden of spring, untouched and self-contained. Each year I return to the earth from the underworld, where I tread flower blossoms, greenery unfurls, and life returns. My festival is Ostara. The sun dances as it rises. The day and night stands equal length, but the light is gaining. Out of the winter, spring comes. Out of the darkness comes light. In the midst of despair is hope. Mine is the creative power to make things real. I'm getting a download about the 10-day forecast. Has it been 10 days already? And I need the world with youth and I renew the world with youth, vitality, freshness, and vigor. The Queen of Swords falls under the influence of the spring goddess who rebirths the vegetational cycle of Earth. Hers are the power of imagination and positive thought to bring things into being, which is one of the first principles of magic. Use the powerful creative energies that surround you now to shape your future and manifest your vision into the world. But always be true to your ideals. This can be a time of great insight with inspiration coming from unexpected resources. This card is particularly ferocious for poets, bards, and writers. The Queen of Swords may represent you or a woman in your life who is intensely private, independent, and often single by choice. She hates anyone telling her what she should do or how she should behave. She is intellectual and sophisticated with a love for art, music, and poetry. She has very high ideals and makes a loyal friend, unconventional and quick-witted with a dry sense of humor. She is fiercely honest and a seeker after truth who sees beyond the surface of the things and demands fairness. She is forthright and will very likely offer you some well-meant and accurate criticism. That's me. How are you all these cards? Because I've taken the journey. I embodied the journey. I've embodied all of them. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'm on the opposite side. You know, and that's just it, depending on where I am. The reverse Queen of Swords can indicate problems with fertility, a termination, or miscarriage. It can also show an inability to let go of past grief, trauma, or secrets that cloud your thinking. Do not let your sorrows obscure the good things that are still in your life. Ask yourself whether this mindset makes you happy or helps you grow. You have lost yourself somewhere along the way. The reverse queen may indicate a woman in your life, perhaps a boss, a parent, or an acquaintance, who is superficially attractive, but manipulative, narrow-minded, unforgiving, quick to take offense, and delights in belittling others. If you spend too much time with her, she will drag you down to her level. On the other hand, this could be describing you if you've slipped into a habit of looking at life in a negative way. Must I speak on this? I'm going to speak on it, and then I'm going to change the subject right away and see if the 10 days forecast. Russ, you know what I mean, being with you-know-who, she consumed him, changed everything. He runs around with a do-rag now. He's sunk to her level in all ways and shapes and forms, is what that means. Give me a second, I gotta check the cards. I just got this download when I was doing it, and if that could change, that could definitely draw out this reading a little bit further than I thought. What's today's date, guys? I don't know either. April 20th. Is it 420? No, we're in the May 20th. Yeah, it changes on May 20th. What's today's date? Give me a second. Yeah, that's why I felt it. It changes tomorrow. Or tonight. We'll wait till tomorrow. I felt it. Okay. Like, how did that... I don't know, bro. I don't know. People always ask me that. What do you mean? They're feelings, bro, that I just recognize. I don't know anymore. They're not thoughts, they're just feelings. I recognize feelings more than thoughts. I work through thoughts. Feelings I understand. And that's where this goes back to, is I didn't feel it. I felt like it was a no. And in that, it's like, well, what now? I don't know. And that's okay. Not knowing is okay, and not wanting to know is okay, and not trying to push some knowing, and not trying to force some knowing, or do something. Oh, that's okay, bro. It doesn't feel okay when you're not okay with it, but it actually is supposed to be that way. Is because if you're not in control, that means God's in control, and that's a good thing. Because when you're in control, there's a lot of, you know what I mean? You're responsible, and there's a lot of stress that comes with that. That's all I gotta say about that. Let's keep going. Yeah, you know, ugh. If you spend too much time with her, she will drag you down to her level. That's what I got about that. He turned into a whole weirdo. He turned into her. I don't know. Whatever. Ugh. Ugh, get it off me. What's their spiritual work at hand? Just drag me down. Oh, ruin. Who's ruined? Well, my plan is ruined, I guess. I mean, it's okay. Why? Because my heart wasn't fully in it. I was a little stressed out about this. I was willing to just do whatever God says, but I didn't feel full peace about it. I was willing to just jump out there like, yeah, for sure, whatever you say, God. Why? Because I have to. Whenever he says, I have to be that willing soldier. The Ten of Swords represents a sudden and unexpected disaster, or whether this is a physical or mental illness related to a relationship, betrayal, failed project, or misfortune. It crushes you. It seems as though all hope has been snatched away. You have hit rock bottom. However, the worst has snapped. No, something happened, bro. I saw a pattern in the middle of all this. What do you mean? I saw something happen in my brain. So when I let go of that thought, the next thought was right away, well then let's go somewhere else. And I caught this thing, it's because it's like, that was intentional. I have no intention on going fucking nowhere. Right? A pattern or something. You know what I mean? That was literally because I was chasing an actual dream. But as soon as I said, no, I can't do it, my programming was like, okay, well, we'll find somewhere else to go. Which is all fine and dandy, but I don't feel that it was spiritual. And so what I noticed there is, like, when I try to, all I do is watch my thoughts, you know what I mean? I have to control them at a point. But for the most part, I let them go and I try to see where they're going with this. I don't act in them, I watch them. So I'm watching this, right? I'm watching this thing and I catch this pattern in there. I catch a glitch in this, right? I haven't fully unraveled it, but I saw what happened with my brain. You know what I mean? When I turned off that thought, the next thought was, well, then let's go somewhere else. So then it started to come up with where it wanted to go, but it didn't have any ideas, but it still wanted to go. And then I was like, we don't have anywhere to go. And when I got put back into my reality, back into the present, not the future of what I'm going to do in the future, but when I put myself back into the present, it was that's what I said, it was a completely different mindset. I can't really fully tell you what it is. I can just tell you I saw something. Not fight or flight, but something. In the sense that there's a chasing inside of me. Something's chasing, is what I saw. Because when I got back to my current reality, after I left those thoughts and I'm back into my present reality, it's like the brain wanted to be like, well, what do I do now? After I'd had already a very, very long day. So I saw a programming of chasing in the middle of this. And that might be why, you know what I mean, it was all stop. Or maybe that was the reason it was all go until it was all stop. And this is one of those things, is God got me fully ready to go, but the door is closed. And and that's what it is, it's not about a prize, it's about the journey. And that's what I realized. When I got to the end of this journey, I watched how I react. And that's what it is, it's your reactions. That's where you learn your programming. You learn how you're reacting to things. And that's what I watched. I watched myself easily say no, but then want to jump on the next adventure. And then when I got back to the fact that there's no adventure, there was this weird somber. I haven't got to the bottom of it yet, but I noticed it. There was like something chasing in me. And when I came back to my current reality, it changed my entire reality. In the sense of I'm always looking for exactly what they say, the next thing. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for the next thing to happen. which means I'm blowing through the present too quickly, and I'm chasing. Even if I'm receiving, you know what I mean? I'm chasing. There's something wrong there. I see it. Not wrong, but there's definitely reprogramming that needs to be done. There's something hidden in there in the matrix. There's in the matrix of my mind. I saw it. I saw a glimpse of it. Meaning, I don't know. I just watched it do something. It wanted to keep going. It wanted to an adventure. It wanted to see what was next. When I said we weren't, you know what I mean? When I was like, there's no next. It wasn't not accepted. It wasn't rejected. It just, I felt like something. And it was just a new something. Anyways, I don't know. I just gotta be honest with what I felt, what I saw happen. Something happened there. It seems as though all hope has been snatched away. You have hit rock bottom. However, the worst has happened. The waiting and speculation are over, and this can bring a sense of relief, right? So, like, it's a huge relief because I'm doing all this anticipation, you know what I mean, to get ready to take this crazy trip. And then all of a sudden, I'm not taking the crazy trip, but my body is still on go. And it wants to redirect this energy to go to something else. So I guess maybe I'm just trying to put out a fire? I'm not sure. I noticed it, though. I noticed it internally. It was fully internally and very subtle. Just a shift, a subtle shift in thoughts. Again, I don't think. So when I saw it move from one to another quite quickly, I'm like, what just happened? I only had one thought. Where are you trying to put another idea in my head? Is what it was. My brain was trying to come up with another idea. To me, that's a sense of chasing. It's trying to go after something. Why are you trying to go after something is kind of what I'm sitting here. And in the sense of, am I talking to my brain, or I need to sit with myself and see what myself really is trying to go after. I'm after something. Do you know what I mean? I'm after something. Which means I'm not content no matter what. There's something I'm chasing or lacking internally. It's not outside of me. So I gotta figure out what this is. Death is a symbol for change and endings in the tarot. All endings are new beginnings. Okay, so let's talk about that egg that's in front of you. I posted that in my community page. My daughter had seen an egg. You guys know that the geese are always around me. But she had found a geese egg. And to be honest, dude, when she brought it home to me, I was sure these kids had opened it before it had hatched. I had to literally take out, you know what I mean, a small embryo out of this that had been, you know, sucked up and died. But I took the egg and I washed it out and I made a little, you know what I mean, I put in my sacred herbs and stuff. But it's all about, you know, I had shared it. And perhaps I'll put that in here. I'll make that the cover. It's about death and, you know what I mean, beginnings, death, transformation, rebirth, all of that. The egg, if I look back at my freaking videos, a year ago probably now is when I was guided to put another egg. I had literally put an egg at the altar for quite some time. That just happens to be a goose egg. I have in here, actually, no, an exact, and that would have been 2 years ago. In here, you see it? There's eggs in there. You see that little one? Yep, tiny little eggs. We found those in, the Bay Area. You see them. That's what's at the bottom. What else is in there? Those are some crystals. They're, Mexican something. I can't remember. Like, really? No, dude, I have so much fucking shit, dude. I can't remember everything right now. But yeah, I always have eggs. They're a representation of the rebirth. I mean, not always, but I mean that, yeah, always. And that sits with my wolf spirit and everything else. This is the final ordeal, the darkest hour before the dawn. The Ten of Swords reverse shows that a terrible burden has afflicted you is beginning to lift. This may be a slow process, but know that you have survived the worst, and the worst is behind you, if you want it to be. You will have to act to make this happen, however, or relief will only be temporary. You must want to help yourself. This involves stop thinking of yourself as a victim. I'm not really sure what this has to do with. I mean, that's probably you guys. But, you know, we were having some really in-depth conversations, and that was in the sense of being fearless about jumping into the unknown, understanding that. And then we said something. I was like, you ever consider that the reason it doesn't work for us is because we're trying to reground ourselves where we were unrooted? I was like, you know, Colorado is filled with all kinds of memories for me, and I feel like every time I try to ground myself in Colorado, it's never meant to be because of that. And she was like, the same thing. It doesn't take me long before people find out and before my old life starts coming back to find me. And I said that earlier, right? And I was like, do you ever think that that's why it's not working for us, is because we were never really supposed to stay where they kicked us out of, and that we were supposed to make a new place home? And that's when we started considering it. And we're like, what about Oregon? You know what I mean? They have good resources and shit and stuff like that. We had considered other places to, you know what I mean, start over. We were considering that. And that's where these thoughts started coming again, the chase. But what am I chasing? Chasing an old life, bro. Chasing an old life. You ever consider that? That what you know what I mean, why it's not working is because where you're trying to work it. You know what I mean? You're still in your comfort zone. Like you can't build a foundation on faulty ground. I made a video I don't know how many days ago, but I was talking about institutionalized people and how they go back to their old stomping grounds, and before they know it, they go back to their old patterns and they become their old version of themselves. So I'd said that, you know, in just a few words, something similar to that is like, do you ever consider that that's why we can't get grounded here? That every time we try to ground, our roots are pulled up because we were never supposed to ground here. And we only ground here because it's comfortable. Is what I had said, right? I don't know. I had some really in-depth talks about, you know, possibilities and all possibilities realized. And then I just sat in the nothing of it. It's like, what do you want? I want to ask my mind what it wants, not that it's fully important, but I can sense something's in there. It's not just going with the flow. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I just kind of finally get that I don't want to chase these things. So like, she showed me the last couple days, she showed me a lot of resources for subsidized housing. By no coincidence at all, Denver Section 8 lottery is open, as well as the Auroras. And then we've been looking at a lot of this, right? So I was looking into all of these. This is like best case scenario of housing, where, you know, they'll come in and pay most of your bills and you can keep a roof over your head. And that's all good and all. But then you're just in this house. I don't know, I'm just really detached from this. I'm going through a very intense awakening that's not necessarily the dark night of the soul, but it's an extreme detachment of the sense of I just can't I don't have a desire. Which is a good thing, to not want to desire, to be content and not want anything more. The world views that as very useless and unambitious and stuff, but I've worked really hard to get to this place of all I can say is existence. Without having the mind, you know what I mean? That's where it was. I saw a faint tint of my mind still trying to hold on to something, but it was so faint that it's not real. That's where I was like, I saw something. I saw a pattern, an old version of me. I don't know what happened. I mean, it's a Monday, so I go through a portal. We could dig deeper into the cards to find words for it, but I just can't find a reason. The reasoning is gone. The logic, the willpower, the drive. What am I driving towards, dude? Rebuilding what? My identity. A home for my children. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know why I'm supposed to do it, because that's what everybody does. But I'm completely like just, I don't know, I guess this is like, after I let go, I didn't come back down, is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it in the sense of a fucking balloon. It's like I let the anchor go and now I can't come back down. And that would be that hawk in the sky. It's like I see, but just watching the ants move. I don't know how to explain this. I really don't. I'm really good at words, but I really don't know how to explain what the perspective I have on things right now and where, you know what I mean? It came just so simplistic. When I let go of this idea, I had no more ideas. I was all out of ideas. And the brain tried to reach for one and it had nothing. It had no reason. It had no understanding, no reason. It had no desire to even try to reach for something. And not in a hopelessness, but in the sense of it just surrendered. It's like, where are we supposed to go? It's kind of like when I talk to my kids, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm bored. What do you want to do? They literally don't know. They just have a feeling of boredom in them and a desire, but they can't tell me, so I won't do anything. And that's where I was with my mind. Like, what do you want? It wants nothing. It just feels like it's lacking something. It's an interesting place to be. It's a new level mindset for sure. Alright, so whatever, we're ruined. What's our spiritual, where we go from here? The Chariot. Balancing this, for sure. And that's what I said too, is like, you telling me my Chariot is fine? She said, dude, she's like, and she recognized it right away. She's like, the reason it's so loud is because you have an exhaust leak. That's all that is. She's like, you can get exhaust tape and it'll be quiet again. I was like, I thought my car was really loud, and I thought that had something to do with the engine and all kinds of shit. And she's like, why do you think all this? I was like, truthfully, everybody has a paranoia, and mine is something about under that hood. I don't know. She's like, no, dude, your car is solid, bro. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear, because I was like, my car means the world to me. It's my Chariot. And that was it too. Just knowing I could go made me feel free. Knowing that I could go made me feel free. That's it. Just knowing I could go made me feel free. It's a mindset, bro. Alright, let's talk about it. The Chariot in the card represents the vehicle you drive through this mortal life. I'm not talking about my Impala. I'm talking about my body. The reins are in your hands, and you're the only one that decides where to go. You have the free will to follow the path and be happy, carry off it and crash, or sit where you are and complain that life is passing you by. Your success or failure is determined by the choices you make, and only when you accept this will you have the strength to overcome the obstacles you face in your journey. I got a download in that. And it's like, not every thought is a great thought, but it's better when your brain can't come up with anything. It's, as weird as it sounds, it's better to be a thoughtless fool. You want to be the fool. Not driven by ambition, but led by intention. The horse of the chariot symbolizes duality, two opposites standing side by side, but balanced and pulling in one direction. And that's it. I'm in alignment, but now we need a reason, we need a place to pull. And I don't even feel a pull. It's more like this was a huge training lesson. They represent each of the inner conflicting opposites that pull you one way and the other without you being aware of why you do not feel in control of your own fate. And that's it. I noticed a pull. That's what I said. I noticed something. The charioteer is constantly balancing them to drive them forward according to his will. Take a good look at who you are, what you believe, and where you are going. Harness your will and awareness so that you can move forward consciously. And that's it. It was a fart in the wind. It was literally a spin of the globe. Where do I want to go from here? Meaning, hold on. We weren't on adventure mode. We had a reason for that. And now it was like, no. It was something, dude. It was a recognizable feeling of reaching, chasing, wanting, or lacking. But it was grief. And it just, as quick as it was, as quick as it went. It was like just... I don't know, guys. You'll have to get to a place where you monitor your mind like me to see something like that. Anyways, take a good look at blah, blah, blah. You will have the power to achieve something extraordinary if you do. The Chariot is an ultimate card of action. You can overcome all difficulties as long as you keep moving forward. Be sure you know what it is you really want, though you may be forcing your way along the wrong path. I don't know what I want. I don't have any wants. This could be a dangerous thing. I've said it before. I don't have any desires. I don't have any wants. It's not like, no, I don't want to do that. There's a I don't want to feeling, of a rebellion feeling, of a rejected feeling, of a, neglected, or, I just don't want to. That's a feeling too. I don't have any feeling of want. Meaning, as soon as that wiped out, it's like I didn't want anything else. All I wanted was that. And when that was gone, it was gone, like I was empty. Not ruined and hopeless like that fucking card. I just was empty. Like, I just, pulled the plug, and it was finally gone. Like, the water had finally ran out of the boat. I know I'm using weird words. I'm trying to describe how it feels. The reverse. You are overwhelmed by obstacles and problems that you feel you have no control over, and you have no control over your life. You are wasting your energy in anger, railing against fate, life, and other people. Such aggression is not strength but weakness. Channel that emotion into determination. Take control again and steer your own course. Only you can do it. I cannot even sympathize from you. I have no literal feelings to even honor the fact that you're railing out of control and angry about some shit. And that's the opposite, because you're trying to control shit and I'm just trying to understand shit. I get it. I was you, but right now I'm trying to just understand. I guess it's this expectancy of what comes next is what's my brain is panicking about, because it doesn't know what to believe in. It's accepted no job. It's accepted no house. It's accepted no journey. It's accepted no man. So now it stopped fighting for these things, against them and for them. And now it's like, it's just quiet. It's almost like, as I'm looking at the picture of the horses, dude, it's like a wild stallion that just keeps bucking and bucking and bucking and bucking and bucking. And finally, out of nowhere, bro, it just literally walks up and stands next to the white one and is waiting to be put in, you know what I mean, to be led. It's the best way I can describe it. And what is that? The brain, the masculinity, the ego, whatever, desires, lack. In the sense of, it did one more buck. It looked around and decided it wasn't going to fight it and just came and got in line. And that's where I am right now. So the brain is like, all right, whatever you say. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, well, I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do now. Not that I'm lost, I didn't know what I was going to do after that. And now we're both sitting here like just waiting to be led. It's quite funny. I used that term. I said that too. I said that to my counterpart. I said, you're passive. I can sense that you're passive in this area. But based on my circumstance, I need to be led, which I would never ever submit to another in that form. But in the essence, I feel safe to be led by you. So it's funny, I said that earlier, and here I am, waiting to be led. It's a submissive passiveness that is the farthest I've ever gone in my growth. To let go of the control, and that's it, to stop bucking. Especially on a Monday, I'll be bucking. Gonna get bucking here. That's a good ass song. Who's that? DJ Khaled, Bucking Here? That's a good song. That's kind of where it is. It's weird. It's like it wanted to go its own way, and instead it just was like, alright, whatever you say. Almost like it's lost its spirit. And that's why it's a little sombering. Because it's you know, I'm always being pulled two different ways. And the brain tried. It tried to come up with its own plan, and it just kind of didn't. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that to you. What else you got, Ron? I told you, I'm in my Empress. What comes next? My King of Cups, balancing the emotions, love and shit. Who is he? I don't know. Gotta make some choices, huh? Do I really have to choose? I really believe that you already chosen for me, and I just didn't have to fight this. Right? Cultivate the idea. On page 144. I guess if there's anything I can take from it is we're just going through the waning stage, and we're just going to lose more and have to wait till that new moon. Let me see if I can find that in a book. When's our new moon? I mean, I'm trying to find a little bit of answers, but as the oracle, you have to accept. I was going to be redundant. And you're like, no. Alright, whatever you say, Ron. In the sense of, God's still mysterious to me. He doesn't tell me everything. Maybe. Not really. Let me see in my almanac. Give me a second. This is all my fucking 50 cards, 40 cards. Alright, let's see. When's this fucking new moon? February. Way past that. What is all this shit? The bridge. Ostara. What? Are we in Ostara? That'd be so weird if we really are. I don't think so. I think we went past that. Yeah, we're past Ostara. Duh. Venetian. Mint sauce. Lamb. Isn't here a lamb chop? Yeah, we went past Beltane. I'm looking for dates. Give me a second. May 5th. What's today? 19th. May 12th. Gemini season begins tomorrow, shortly followed by the new moon on the 26th. I was right. Bringing a swirl of vibrant, dynamic, and intellectually stimulating energy into the mix. Gemini is an air sign, and we're still in the air with the swords. Ruled by Mercury, is known for its curious nature and versatility. When the energy combines with the transformative power of the new moon, it creates an atmosphere that allows you to plant a seed to inspire new ways to communicate, learn, and adapt. This is also a powerful time to express yourself in communicating with words. Embrace your inner wordsmith by writing poetry or start a journal to capture your thoughts during this transformative lunar phase. This is a great time to start your Book of Shadows, and I had started that with the Intro to Tarot Part 8 when we started the beginning of the swords. The full moon, June 11th, 3:44 a.m., is a vibrant, expansive, adventurous, celestial, bringing new experiences. Sagittarius is associated with travel and exploration. This full moon encourages you to step out of your comfort zone, embrace unfamiliar territories, expand your mind, blah, 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 blah. Beltane, just stopped there and started reading about all kinds of shit. Salmonberry. I don't know what all that is. May 1st. What are we talking about? Pork. Can we get back to some dates? What the fuck? Crystal scrying, water scrying, fire scrying, dark mirror scrying. Everybody's scrying, I guess, is what you're supposed to be doing. I do a lot of that, just stare into space and get some downloads. Alright, we're going to the list. That smells so good. What happened? Natural connection, something about chickens. Red fox. Conjunction. Oh, I'm seeing something. Midsummer solstice, longest day, Litha, blah 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 blah. This would be light yellow, orange, gold candles, frankincense, orange, cinnamon, incense. Can add a touch. Yep, we already started all this. This will be the new moon in Cancer on June 25th. But when is Litha? What day is it? Midsummer solstice, arriving summer's longest day. But what day? Didn't say what day. Just says how to honor it. The new moon. Conjunction Saturn and Neptune on June 29th at 4:20. That's CJ's birthday. Brings gathering of energy and structure of spirituality. Saturn represents discipline. Neptune embodies dreams and intuition. When these two planets align, creates a unique blend of grounded spirituality. This conjunction encourages us to find harmony between our material, real-world responsibilities and our spiritual aspirations. Again, that's a long time for me to get some shit together. Jasmine and gardenia for Cancer season. Go for that Cancer moon. On the other hand, when Venus meets Uranus on July 4th, we experience an electrifying energy that ignites excitement and unpredictability in relationships and creativity. Venus symbolizes love, beauty, harmony, while Uranus represents innovation, rebellion, and freedom. This combination infuses relationships with unconventional sparks that challenge traditional norms and bring sudden changes, and encourages us to embrace individuality with partnerships and explore new artistic expressions outside of conventional boundaries. Later that day, Neptune goes retrograde until December 10th. When Neptune goes retrograde motion, the planet associated with dreams, illusion, and spirituality, its energy becomes more internalized. This period invites us to examine our belief systems or illusions that may be clouding our judgment or hindering personal growth. In the ideal time for self-reflection and gaining clarity, spiritual matters are dissolving any illusions that no longer serve us. These are some killer retrogrades till December. And then there's a full moon in Capricorn on July 10th. What an intense week. Mercury retrograde happens again on July 18th. Son of a monkey, right into Leo season. Ooh, those are dangerous. Mercury's going to be on the other side of the sun. That's scary. Light a candle, a color associated with Leo. I need to get some more Leo oil. That last one they had me totally douse. Well, man, I'm going to put my lithium oil out because I like it. It smells good. I'm getting ready for summer faster than you're ready for it. I didn't get the date on it. I'll post that. Well, what'd you get out of this? Death, transformation, rebirth. We're shedding skins. We're shedding layers. I don't know how many layers. I'm pretty naked right now. In the sense of my belief system's been completely shattered and ripped apart. I don't know, going back to it, it's like I'm where I'm supposed to be. With the Chariot, going back to all this bullshit. Come on, fuckhead. It's like my horses are aligned, but we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. But at least we have them in alignment. And that's huge growth. Where you can get your mind and your heart to align. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? We got stalled. But at least we're on the same track. And it's just different for me. You know what I mean? Usually I have, so many battles going on, and not to have that battle, that's a pretty awesome one. And on a Monday of all days, you know what I mean? That's when the mind triggers real hard. My mind really flares on a Monday because we're in the mind emotion. And it just kind of gave up. It just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not like it gave up its fight. It just looked over like, I know what to do now. It wasn't like a full surrender. It was more like a obedient surrender. Like the white horse was looking at it like, are you going to do this every time? And it just kind of walks up and gets into place. Like it's waiting to be, you know what I mean, saddled and rode. It's pretty cool. And that's a long time of trying to control it. It may just be for today, but that's pretty cool. That's far. And that's what I meant, is it tried to kind of, you know what I mean? It tried to glitch, it tried to go somewhere, but it didn't. It came right back. And that's kind of okay, because, that part of me wants to go. That's, you could say the stallion or the Sagittarius, the fight or flight. I don't know where it's really, I can't put it on a place of me. I just know it's a part of me that wants to adventure out. And, that Knight of Wands, I guess. That knight on his horse wants to take off into, take the chariot and go for a ride. And so, maybe I just need to calm it, because we haven't, left since we got back. And maybe I just need to, that's an inner part of me, and that's what it's maybe leading up to, is I just need to come my Sagittarius. My Sagittarius is going to flare with that full moon. And I need to get out and let it escape a little bit. Take it somewhere new. That's like walking your dog, dude. And I hate to say it, but that's how your desires and your internal workings are, is you can't repress your emotions and your feelings. They need freedom to breathe. And that's what this is building up to, is, you know what I mean? It wants to run wild. It wants that, the Sagittarius is, it wants its adventure. It's freedom. And now it's like, it's more of a controlled rather than out of control. Not that I was out of control, but in the sense of, I feel like we can control this. Where I get where this feeling is coming from, and I understand how important it is to give into this feeling with restraint. Lord forbid one day I want to sit there and I want to drink again. okay, we'll get a couple shots and we'll sit down where we know we're not going to drive and we're not going to, you know, if this is what I want to do, this is okay. I'm not going to persecute myself. There was a part of me many years ago that liked to do some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where it is. It's not fully giving in to your desires, but acknowledging it where they truly come from and allowing them to breathe. That's how I feel about it, is what I see. There's a desire in me to want to, you know, roam free. That horse wants to roam free. And we got to give it some space to roam and some time to roam. And that's kind of like the kids, right? So my kids used to be, when they were really young, they'd watch all these fucking commercials about everything. Can I have this? Can I have this? I was like, well, talk to me on Christmas. Let me know on Christmas. Let me know on Christmas. Let me know about your birthday if you still want it. In the sense of, it wasn't no, but it was like at a certain time. We'll talk about it at that time if you still want it at that time. And so it's telling my, you know, my adventure inside, my Sagittarius, my very, very, very full Sagittarius, is like, it's not a no, it's just not right now. We're still going to go somewhere, just not right now and not that way. And that's kind of it. It just needs to roam free. It needs the adventure. I do. As a Sagittarius, I need that in my life. And if I can handle it to where I'm not, you know what I mean, taking off into the open wild and can't come back. Meaning, like, it's like a dog. Like, if you let it out in the backyard, it's fine. But if you never let it out, then every time the door opens, it's going to run out and never come back. Because it wants that freedom. But if it knows that, it, you know what I mean, the door is open, then it won't go darting out the door like that. That's what I feel, is what I'm going through. How do you feel? What are you going through? And that's it. And that's also reeling it back to, where are we going? Where do I put my mind? And that's the horse. It's like, where do you want me to go? What shall I focus on? And I'm a little unclear on that. And that's asking God, what do I focus on, God? Do I focus on, you know what I mean? A house, a job, the fucking music, the fucking documentary? What do you want me to focus on now? You could say I'm unfocused, but that's not what I am at all. I'm fully laser focused until it's, you know what I mean? Until there's nothing to go towards. And then it's that awkward moment of waiting for the next, you know what I mean? The next arrow, as you will. And there's a serious moment of silence today, in the sense of, I have no idea what I'm supposed to, you know. I'll wake up tomorrow, God who gives us strength. I'm on a Mars day. I'll be filled with drive. I just need to know where I'm going to drive this fucking chariot. Which is what? My body. Where am I driving? What am I going for in life? It all comes down to, you know what I mean, the documentary, and then just continuing my teachings. So, you know, I'm just waiting on guidance. Inner guidance, I guess. Not outer guidance, but at the same time, I had said that to a counterpart. That there's certain areas I need to be led. You know what I mean? I'm not in full control. And that's a good thing. That shows my submission, because especially in the, you know, certain areas, it's like, no, you're not going to tell me shit. I don't want to hear your opinion. I'm doing it my way, and it doesn't matter if I don't, you know. I guess a lot of people get that perception that I'm in full, you know, it has to be my way or the highway. But not all of it. I have to have the freedom, you know what I mean, before I turn it into something like that. And it doesn't have to be that way if I feel safe. It doesn't have to be my way. I do my way to feel safe. My way makes me feel safe and in control. Giving you your way, you know what I mean, if I don't feel safe, then I feel out of control. So that's where that submission comes from. I don't mind letting you, you know what I mean, drive my car if I know you know how to drive. I don't mind leaving my kids with you if they're safe. You know what I mean? I don't mind any of this if I feel safe, but if I don't, then no, you sit in the passenger seat and don't talk to my kids and, you know, all these other different things. I'd like to say you hope that somebody will make you break down your walls. but in the sense of, I hope one day you'll break down your walls for somebody. And that's, you know, my twin flame journeys. They teach me to break down my own walls, to where, like, look at how far I've come. On a Monday, I usually am a Superman hater. Superman hater. But where was I according to the cards? I'm in my Empress. I'm still my Queen of Swords. I'm in my Empress. Good stuff, good stuff. And again, I told you, I had a great day. Other than that weird shit, trying to figure out what's going on with my mind and where I go from here. Where am I supposed to go from here? I mean, I don't know. Well, that's all I got for you. Tomorrow we will finish up the swords, finish up our thoughts. Maybe something will come in there. But obviously we're just working through, I don't know, nothing. I wish I had more for you, but I'm glad that I don't. I've had so much intense teachings for you guys for the last couple weeks, that I'm glad not to be filled with a bunch of bullshit for you, and to just be in a somber, you know, chill. No, chilling is not stressing, you know what I mean? Chilling is chilling. And the longer you chill, that means, you know, that means things are good. When you can chill, things are good. You can't really chill when things aren't, you know what I mean, good. And that's usually, it's an internal thing. It's not an external thing. So for me to chill, that means that everything's all right inside. And on a Monday, that's when the shadows, you know, really, the putrefaction, where, you know, they vapor in, old shadows resurface and shit. And it barely did. A little, you know what I mean? A little something that I understood. I don't know, I'm just in a place of, I guess that's the answer. I don't know. I'm in a place of I don't know. For once in my life, I can't tell you. I guess there's lots of times I can't tell you what it really is. I'll just kind of describe what it feels like. Hey, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a good night, and I don't know if this resonates with any of you, but if you ever get to that place, it's not a bad place. It's awkward. I'll give you that. Like, I never felt like this before. Love like this before, I guess. Hey, I'll catch you guys later. Laters, haters.